In order to better understand why companies are considering nearshoring as a possible solution to the global microchip shortage, we first need to understand the benefits and drawbacks of offshoring. Between 1980 and 2010, the offshoring of manufacturing activity to Asian countries shaped new global value chains. The international localization of some parts of the value chain, mainly those at low value added, was justified by four main reasons: search for low-cost or high-quality inputs, such as cheap labor or specific expertise, increase proximity to large and fast-growing markets, achieve economies of scale, and pursue of strategic goals. Offshoring practices started to be reconsidered around 2010, when companies realized they underestimated some potential drawbacks. In particular, they had to deal with increasing cost of land, the threat to intellectual property rights, the rising cost of transport and inventory, cultural differences such as in environmental and social conditions, and difficulties in coordination due to opposite time zones. In recent years, the US-China trade war, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the current volatile economic and geopolitical situation, including the Russia-Ukrainian war, further push companies to consider alternatives to this model, such as backshoring and nearshoring. If backshoring refers to bringing operations back to the home country, nearshoring refers to moving operations to a foreign country in the same region. This trend represents a massive opportunity for Latin American countries, which could offer lower production costs, proximity, and cultural similarities to US companies. However, China developed a competitive advantage in the past 20 years in local know-how, infrastructures, and industrial parks, while Latin American countries don't offer the same benefits and often lack reliability. As a result, there is no evidence of strong nearshoring activities so far. The capacity to attract foreign direct investments is not the same for all countries in Latin America. The reshoring readiness of a country has been measured by Pietrobelli and Seri as a combination of 7 factors: digitalization, logistics and production costs, human capital, science, technology and innovation systems, intellectual property rights, risk and resilience, and finally, flexibility and proximity to markets. Costa Rica, where Intel recently reshored its assembly and design operations, scores higher than China in 5 reshoring readiness factors, but lags behind in logistics and R&D. Other countries' average score, instead, is lower than China in most indexes, demonstrating that many weaknesses still limit the area's readiness to host nearshoring activities. Strategic location decisions are also influenced by legal factors such as investment protection agreements, double taxation treaties, and free trade zones. The number of treaties and free trade zones in Latin America is growing, but is still below that of Asian offshoring regions. Given the characteristics of the microchip supply chain, which is a high geographic specialization and high capital intensive, complete relocation of activities in one region is unrealistic, as it would cost more than 1 trillion in upfront investments. Nevertheless, nearshoring of some activities in the value chain could increase geographic diversification and improve resilience. The extent to which trade flows will detour from Asia to Latin America and the consequent impact on economies will depend on the degree to which each country can improve its areas of weakness. Quick and pragmatic actions are needed from policymakers to allow their countries to take advantage of this opportunity. Companies in the microchip sector, in fact, can take the risk of building new plants in an unreliable context, given the billions the investment would require.